Hi, I'm Dr. Paul Looney, and I'd like to talk to you a few minutes about sponsorship. If you're in recovery, if you're growing in your life, if you're gaining new ground, personally, relationally, or in your career, it is so helpful to have a team of support. You want people surrounding you who understand what you're up against and who are able to give you the support that you need to fight with you on a daily basis, and people who can be cheerleaders to cheer you on when your zeal is flagging. But in addition to that support team, you need a sponsor, you need a mentor, you need someone who can serve sort of like a coach or a sergeant to help you achieve more. This is a person that you get to choose. They are not chosen for you. It's someone that you have to seek out. You have to put yourself out there and make the ask for this person to assist you. Generally, these people are not paid by you. They are motivated to give away the strength that they've received. In Jesus' words, freely received, freely give. It's a challenge to all of us who have gone down a certain path of growth or development to give away what we received. And that's what a sponsor does. However, a lot of the best sponsors are busy people. And when you ask them, they may decline because they have so much on their plate. Don't be discouraged. You can ask someone else, or if you're convinced that this person has what you want, keep asking. If they see your persistence, the level of commitment that you have is high, they may end up saying yes. How do you choose a sponsor? Well, you want to choose someone who has what you want. When you look at them across the room, when you see them in action, when you watch them in a support group setting or in your office place or your church, do they exhibit the qualities that you are desiring to see in yourself? Do they have the freedom from compulsive behavior that you want? Do you look up to them? Do you have respect for them as a person? Do you think that they are someone that you want to emulate, someone you want to be like? This is the person you want to ask to be your sponsor. Not only do you want to feel a sense of respect for them, you also want to have a sense of trust in them. Are they a person of integrity? Can you trust them to take where you want to go and not impose their agenda on you? Can you trust them to keep confidential the things that you share with them? Can you trust them to be consistent in meeting with you so that there is a sense of regularity in your progress? Trust is so important. It is so vital that you have a level of trust that will enable you to speak freely and openly with this person. Ask yourself the question, can I share with them my grossest failure, my darkest sin? Can I be completely open with them about the struggles in my heart, in my marriage, in my finances? If you cannot be rigorously honest, you limit the benefit that you can gain from having a sponsor. You want to find someone who is a good fit for you. In parenting, we know that there is a very important match between parent and child. We call it goodness of fit. And when you're parenting a child that is genetically like you, it is likely that you can learn to connect with them in a deep way. If there's too much difference between parent and child, then that goodness of fit may take much more work and may be, frankly, impossible. They may be a mismatch in terms of their ability to connect. You don't want that in your relationship with a sponsor. So when you meet with them, look for things like a similar sense of humor, likenesses in personality. How do you solve problems? How do you view the world? Is there a good fit there? Do you have a similar background, either in terms of your life experiences or in terms of your struggle with pornography or alcohol or shopping or gambling, procrastination? Is there a good fit there? It's very important. It's also helpful to ask if there's a good fit spiritually. From your spiritual perspective, does this person understand where you're coming from in the way that you relate to your higher power? It is not essential to have a complete congruence in the way that you see God. Certainly, God's thoughts and his ways are as high above earth as heavens are above the earth. So none of us really has God figured out. But it is good to have someone who you can communicate with about deep spiritual truths, even if you are stretched to think differently based on your interactions with them. In addition to trust, you want to ask yourself, will I take direction from this person? Do I have the confidence that they know what they're talking about? Do I have a sense that they have a level of expertise which will allow me to engage the things that they ask me to do? One of my good friends, Dave James, who has since passed away, would ask his sponsees to bring a notebook to their first meeting so that they could take notes. If that sponsee showed up without a notebook, Dave realized they were not ready for a sponsor, and he declined to engage with them in that way. Be willing to do the things your sponsor asks you to do, except when they violate your conscience. Do them out of a sense of trust and obedience. When we obey those who we've engaged in authority over us, it opens up a possibility for us to surrender control. Most of our addictions and compulsive behaviors are driven by our need to be self-protective, self-controlled. Some have considered to be alcoholism as a form of self-will run riot, that when we want to do life on our own, we make ourselves vulnerable to behaviors that keep us independent from other people, but make us dependent on external things. To be able to break the hold of some of our compulsive behaviors and addictions, we need to surrender control to God and to trust another person to give us direction along the journey. Ask yourself if you're intimidated by this person. While respect and honor is important, if there's a big gap in terms of the way you see yourself and you see your sponsor, you may be intimidated by them. They may become more of a parental figure or like the principal. You do not want to feel like you're on the carpet when you're meeting with them. You do want to feel respect, but not intimidation. Are they able to be gentle as well as forceful? You want to know whether their level of activity with you is going to be enough to push you without making you feel bullied. In some way, they want to be able to stroke with one hand and punch with the other. Some of us need a kick in the behind to get us moving at times. And you want to know that your sponsor can be both tender and tough when needed. These are some of the things that I'd like for you to think about as you look for a sponsor. Rest assured that it is not a once and for all thing. When you choose a sponsor, it is not like getting married. You can use that person to sponsor you for a leg of your journey and then move on to someone else who has a different perspective to offer. No one person can walk with you to every mountain peak on your journey. You need other people to function in that regard. My sponsor, Mark Rodriguez, I like to think of as a Sherpa who helps me to climb to the heights. He's been there before and helps me to have success in the journey. I pray that you will be able to find someone to meet with regularly who can help you achieve your goals and to make progress in your personal journey. We know that if you meet with someone periodically, even if it's not weekly, if you meet with someone periodically to serve as a coach, you'll be more mindful of your progress, more likely to meet your goals, and more possibly able to get where you want to be by enlisting the help of another person. Hope this is helpful, and I hope you have a wonderful day. This is Dr. Paul Looney. Thanks for listening.